If he can bowl a solid game, I feel he has a very good chance this week.
32 at the best.
And Monacelli will begin the championship match of the Showboat Invitational. Squeaking out a victory in the shootout round over Danny Wiseman, Monacelli opens up the championship match with a strike. Parker Bohn III has had a very good spring-summer tour, a win in the Empire State Open, a couple of seconds in the Masters and the Touring Players Championship in Marshall. Those two second-place finishes most recently came from the top seed. Parker looking for a friendly roll off the sideboard. The Messenger does not get back to take care of the 7-pin.
This morning, wind chills were near freezing out there, so kind of a dramatic change behind that.
And that's what we were talking about earlier. Bad to the bone, yes, but that first seed has not been good to Parker Bohn III. Now, it hasn't been good to him, Gary, but that is where everybody wants to be. You always want to be the top seed. You're insured of being into the title match. Parker Bohn, right where he needs to be. And his win on the spring-summer tour of the Empire State Open coming from the third seed, which has been the most successful so far. Bohn's high game of 300 this week. Right now, 290, the best he can do. There's the strike on lane 55. Trying to get the emotions up for Parker. Important for him to feel like he's got a real good, solid opportunity today. Monacelli opened up the championship match with a strike. He's on the approach in the second frame on lane 56, which he had some problems on in the shootout round. He did. The confidence. Look at that ball. That was on the channel.
Oof. That's a doubles.
That ball was right on the edge. Take a look at this. There it's on the one board. Is it going to stay up? Well, you saw it did. And the reaction of a very surprised Amleto Monacelli.
Coming here at tilted on the edge,
yeah. Marshall Holman as well. And not much surprises you. Monacelli up by 10 pins over Bohn early in the second frame as we move on to the third. For another 10 pins. Strike in the third frame. 3 in a row for Amleto Monacelli. Takes advantage of the great break he had on lane 56. Sandwiches that shot in between two great ones on 55. Monacelli with the first 3 now in the championship match. You know, even though Parker Bohn has lost his last 3 matches as the tournament leader, he has had a tremendous amount of success here at the Showboat, including doubles events. He's made 8 telecasts at the Showboat with a win, 3 seconds, 3 thirds, and either a first or a second today. And now Bohn's got a couple of strikes. Cutting that lead from 20 down to 10. Parker Bohn, familiar look. Yeah! Right back in the match. Strike here in the fourth frame with Amleto Monacelli. Marshall, the scores have been high here all week. Looks like we're starting out that way in the championship match. And Bohn does come through with a strike. Now he's got 3 in a row.
He's got 3 in a row.
And now the pressure is back on Amleto Monacelli. Monacelli averaged 235 on lanes 55 and 56, where we're bowling today's Showboat Invitational Final. Although Bohn with a 252 average on these. That ball not quite as far to the right. That's where he wants to throw the ball, Gary. That ball got to about the 2 board. It didn't go over the edge. Starts out around the 9th board. There it is. It's on the second, coming back flush into the pocket, taking care of all 10 pins. And it's important certainly to strike, but to do it in a confident manner. That shot in the second frame had to scare Monacelli. That one right there in the fourth, he loved. 2 great bowlers you're looking at. Between them, 37 PBA titles. 19 for Parker Bohn III, 18 for Amleto Monacelli. Got a little slow with the speed. Ball hooked early on him. Leaves the 3-pin and the 6-pin.
Police say its taser did not work on him and that at some point...
8-pin lead for Amleto Monacelli.
One of the officer's weapons.
Hard and straight in between the 2 pins. He picks it up, textbook.
Spare in the 5th.
Monacelli converts, and Parker Bohn III and Amleto Monacelli have only met once before in a title match. Bohn picks up the victory. He leads that series 1-0. The only meeting back in 1993. So a little bit of an edge right now for Parker Bohn III. And that includes the pins. 8-pin lead over Amleto Monacelli right now. Oh my, what a disastrous frame for Parker. He leads the 2, the 4, the 7, and the 9. The ball simply came in light, did not get enough of the pocket. He knows it's bad right there, and oh, give me a break, he's got to be saying. Now, Parker was down by 8 pins going into that frame, Gary. Now, you can make this. You need to get the ball over to the right-hand side of the 2-pin, hooking. If it's hooking past the 2-pin, got a chance to make it. He's going for it. Doesn't get far enough over. Just gets 9. Now, certainly opened the door for Amleto Monacelli. Now puts him up by 24 pins.
And Parker opened
Take a
in the
look at that
5th.
try by Bohn to pick up the split. Doesn't get it done. And got to forget about it. For that man, he's got to be feeling pretty good. Monacelli, back-to-back PBA Player of the Year honors, 1989 and 1990.
Oh! 7,
And the 7 left for Parker Bohn. And Parker Bohn, who is in the driver's seat for Player of the Year in 1999, would dearly love to win another tournament to extend his lead over Chris Barnes.
That are at risk of a ship strike. The agency identified the bridges as part of the investigation into the Francis Scott Key.
And Bohn converts in the 6th frame. But it's Amleto Monacelli who's in the driver's seat right now in the Showboat Invitational. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to the Showboat Invitational, where Amleto Monacelli has a 24-pin lead over Parker Bohn III in the championship match. A look at Parker Bohn III. Can't be very happy with the way things are going right now, but has to be happy with the fact that, Marshall, he's going to pass you today in career earnings. Well, there we are. He's going to pass me, but he hasn't passed me yet. I still got him for the next couple of minutes. For about the next 15 minutes, you'll be one spot in front of Parker Bohn III. Of course, Amleto Monacelli has already passed you in career earnings, and he is up on the approach right now for his first shot in the 6th. Coming in ever so high, just a little bit, leaving the 4-pin. That's the lane that's really been good to Amleto. Had the shot in the 2nd frame, looked like it was going to go off into the channel, but it stayed up and struck. That one, 4-pin, hard and straight, shouldn't have any problem. And Monacelli converts. Well, next week we're going to be in Tucson, Arizona for the Tucson Open. It's Golden Pin Lanes, and we'll be on it Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Tucson Open coming up next week on CBS Sports. Monacelli, 23 pins over Parker Bohn III as we begin the 7th frame in the championship match of the Showboat Invitational. Just a 23-pin lead. Bohn still in the match. Parker up on lane 55. Now Bohn really in the match. There's the 2-pin, the 4-pin, and the 7. Looks like he came in a little light, Marshall. Well, he did come in light. Leads the 2, the 4, and the 10. Needs to get the ball over to the left-hand side of the 2-pin. The reaction of Amleto knows it was a bad shot. Left-hand side of the 2-pin, slide it into the 10. Went overhook.
Ouch.
Now that lead down to 8 pins now, Gary. And the open frame by Monacelli has indeed opened the door for Parker Bohn III, who has an open frame himself back in the 5th, and now has a chance to come back and regain the lead. And something about the pins Parker Bohn III didn't like. He took a re-rack, as he is allowed to do. You're allowed to have 2 re-racks per game. Likes the way they look now, as he's set to throw on lane 56. Usually a time when Bohn smells blood is when the other player begins to falter. There's a strike for Bohn. Well, in the last couple of telecasts for Parker Bohn, he hasn't been able to get any good breaks going against his opposition. Today he's getting them. Bohn likes the way this one looks. Can a #1 seed finally win this year on the spring tour? Bohn right now in the zone, and that has become a very popular phrase around the PBA. Parker Bohn III is Bohn's own fan club and website. And a strike here would put him in the lead. Well, that hook, friendly roll, light shot. Parker Bohn in the 8th frame. Watch how far this ball goes to the left-hand side of the lane. Comes back, gets powerful strike, knocks them all down. And a relief, Parker Bohn, as he takes a deep breath. Monacelli answers in the 8th frame. Just barely trips out that 4-pin. To set it right now, Gary, Monacelli possible 242, Bohn possible 244. This match really going down to the wire. Can't get much tighter than that. Parker Bohn III looking for his 20th career title. It would mean an awful lot to him. Monacelli working on his 19th title. Needs to make an adjustment on this lane. This ball came in light last time. Not this time. Enough of the head pin. Gets the pins off the sideboard and reclaims the lead by 8 pins for Monacelli.
Action News is your #1 source for breaking news.
Watching it, happy to see him go down. Just barely knocked him down.
Back and forth, Monacelli up by 8 pins. Bohn just had a 2-pin lead. Once again, Monacelli is on top.
Gotta hurry. Perfect shot for Parker Bohn. That ball resting on the edge of the lane. Hook back. He's got the lead again. And Gary, he does control his whole destiny. If he can get a couple of strikes here at 9, he's the champion. Parker Bohn in the 9th frame.
Yeah, baby! That's what I'm talking about.
Needs to get himself a little bit calmed down after that shot. Sometimes you get yourself so energized as Amleto Monacelli looks on, you have to take a deep breath, calm yourself down so that you can make the best possible shot possible here in the 10th frame.
And that was the tip of the week. Breathing, calming down. It worked for Bohn.
Well, he's not calm right now as he's coming right out of his shoes. He feels like he deserves to win. Been the tournament leader in the last 3 tournaments he's been in. Watch this ball. Maybe a little good fortune, good luck, lady luck here in Vegas. And watch his reaction. How about that vertical jump, Gary?
The hottest bowler right now on the PBA Tour, Parker Bohn III, but feeling that he has not been able to get the job done from the #1 seed. This would certainly be redemption.
Slower speed. That's the one. Slower speed. He was able to get the ball to hook back into the pocket. The last shot, he was overjuiced, but he was fortunate to get that friendly roll. Parker Bohn with the slower ball speed, the ball flush in the pocket, and the reaction of a man who desperately wants his 20th title. Means so much to Bohn. The difference between being a 19-time champion and that elite group of 20-time titleists. Parker needs but 9 pins to secure the victory.
And Monacelli has to be sitting there thinking, just give me a chance. Give me a chance.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, got the ball too far to the right. It hooks through the nose. And Monacelli does get that chance. Gary, I wasn't sure if this ball was going to go into the channel, but it hangs on, overhooks. He leaves the 4, the 6, and the 7 pin. That's 241.
Monacelli now knows he has a chance when he sees 3 pins standing. He's got a possible 242. If he strikes out, he will win the championship match by 1 pin.
Solid 10 for Amleto Monacelli and Parker Bohn finally.
Parker Bohn is your winner of the 1999 Showboat Invitational, and he does it from the #1 seed.
Like and subscribe.
So